Welcome to Radio 1 Movies with me, Rhianna. Out this week we've got The Last Witch Hunter, Mississippi Grind and Brand: A Second Coming. And let's start with Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter. Vin Diesel plays a man cursed with immortality by the most evil witch of all time and spends 800 years tracking down all these other witches until he finds out that his old nemesis is back.
How did that get in here? One means nothing. Two, a coincidence. Three, trouble.
Get down!
You wanna quit?
No. I want to raise.
It is a completely ridiculous film full of questionable dialogue and quite poor acting, especially from Game of Thrones egret Rose Leslie. And I was also really looking forward to seeing Elijah Wood in that put-upon sidekick role, and actually he was severely underused. But I am completely in love with Vin Diesel. He is very watchable, very charismatic, very sexy, and he has that weariness that someone who's been walking the earth for 800 years would have. So I think sit back, revel in the fun and silliness of it. 3 stars for The Last Witch Hunter. Next up, it's Mississippi Grind. Ben Mendelsohn plays a gambler who owes a lot of people a lot of money, and then he meets Curtis, who's played by Reynolds, and they go on an ill-fated gambling tour of the South.
Hey, Curtis, what I'm trying to get at here is that good things happen when you're around, when you're not, when you leave.
You get stabbed.
Yeah. I've been thinking, that home game, New Orleans, dissociated guy.
Tony Roundtree.
Boom, I want it.
The game has a $25,000 buy-in, Jerry.
Which is a lot. Yep, it's a lot. I got a plan.
I really love the misdirection in this film. You're so busy looking at one guy and thinking, what's his game? Why isn't he trustworthy? That you don't think to look at the other guy and wonder what his motives are. And I haven't seen that in a film in a really long time, and it really worked. And I really love the themes in this as well. It's about gambling and addiction, but also about loneliness and trust. And Ryan Reynolds shows us yet again how versatile and charismatic he can be. Every film he does, I like and admire him more.
I don't care about winning. Where did you come from?
The pace of the film is quite slow, but that makes the payoff even more enjoyable. So 4 stars for Mississippi Grind. Next up, it's Brand: A Second Coming. This is a documentary about Russell Brand, showing us his changing state from stand-up comedian to television personality to political activist.
On some days, I think all sorts of mad, crazy, narcissistic things about myself, but that ain't the person I'm interested in building. When you're building a house, how would you, if you sort of go, right, this is the room that I'll sit and cry in, this is the room where the burglars will eventually smash the window and come in. If you plan for that house, that's the house that you're going to create. The person I want to become is free from those kind of lateral comparisons about how cool I am or how nice my haircut is.
But in order to do that, you probably need to stop shopping.
Yeah, I'm going to end up in a blanket, aren't I? We all know that. I don't mind, though. I'm nearly ready. I'm really close.
It feels like a weird mishmash of anecdotes and narration by Brand himself. We see snippets of him doing his stand-up and awkward interviews with people who just don't know what to make of him. And those are really funny because they show how quick and witty he can be. Those were the highlights for me. But it is difficult to make a documentary that tells all when there's no real expose, because Russell Brand is so outspoken. He has said all this stuff himself in the past. You could just go on YouTube to find a lot of this. So it's quite a confusing documentary. It's entertaining to a point, but I don't feel like I found out anything new in it. So 3 stars for Brand: A Second Coming. Next week, it's all about Spectre, and I'll be doing my usual review plus interviews from pretty much all of the cast, including Daniel Craig, lucky old me. But if you want to know what my initial reaction was coming out of the cinema, then make sure you click here to find out.